Well, woo-wee, boys and girls, it's a rootin' tootin' new season and episode of Too Many Tabs. And Mrs. Pearlmania here did her research on why Republicans like to be such performative males wearing their propaganda cowboy hats. Do these rugged individuals show the actual history of the Stetson B. John Capital Hat Company? We're gonna find out today on
Too Many Tabs. Remember to smile.
Welcome to Too Many Tabs, a podcast where a husband and wife duo sit next to each other at a table. And today, Mrs. P did her research.
I absolutely did. I got deep into the internet while we were on a little vacay.
A little bit of a breaky down.
A little break. And I learned a lot of things that I'm so excited to tell you and everybody else.
Okay, well, what did you learn about this week?
Cowboy hats.
Cowboy hats?
Yeah, so here's what happened.
Okay.
I watched the news.
Big mistake.
Big mistake. Huge
Big
mistake.
mistake.
Okay, so I'm watching the news, and
Okay.
I'm noticing that all of the worst people on the news are wearing cowboy hats.
When you say things like the worst people.
Kristi Noem.
Oh, yeah, Kristi Noem.
She wears a hat to hide her bad hair extensions.
She wears a hat to hide a lot of bad things.
Yes.
Okay?
And so she's wearing this hat, and then I saw that picture of the Make-A-Wish child, Donald Trump, wearing a cowboy hat as well.
That was a terrifying one, too.
Yeah.
And he was surrounded by actually in that picture of him hunched over the desk wearing a cowboy hat, he's surrounded by the Miracle on Ice 1980 U.S. Olympic team.
That's really weird.
They brought him a white cowboy hat, too,
Okay.
because they wanted to pretend he's the good guy.
So that's the thing, is I was like, why do these people that are terrible wear cowboy hats to project this like idea of like, I'm a cowboy? So then I was like, why? I need to know why. So I started doing research. And then here's what also happened. Another thing happened. It was a little Venn diagram of how I got here.
Okay.
I saw an Instagram reel.
Okay. All right.
Okay? So I saw an Instagram
You know we're in a
reel.
bad place when you're like, I saw an Instagram reel instead of this TikTok came up. You're like, no. TikTok's done.
No, TikTok is like, that algorithm is weird.
Yeah, it's about to get a lot worse.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
So it's actually better to be on Instagram Reels, I guess. I don't know what's going on.
know.
The
There's
internet.
none of them are good.
No.
But okay, we're just going to go with the sentence. You saw an Instagram reel.
But I saw it from someone I like.
Okay.
Okay. And I want to play for you real quick because I was like, wait a minute. This changes everything.
The cowboy hat was invented in Philadelphia by a man from New Jersey. For more than 100 years, the company Stetson, who made hats like this, made their hats in Philadelphia at the intersection of Germantown and Montgomery Avenue. Here's a Stetson hat box with some cool Philadelphia landmarks on it.
Hey, I know that person. I know that shop that's in.
Yeah, you do.
That's a 4-foot prune in Old City in Philadelphia.
Yeah, one of our favorite shops.
It's a great shop. I go there anytime I'm in that neighborhood. I always stop in there, and there's a comic book shop around the corner. I go there too.
Yeah.
Brave New World's comic shop. Shout out to those guys. And
The
yeah,
4-foot prune has a lot of Muppet stuff.
they have a lot of Muppet stuff. It's a vintage shop. Every time I go in there, it also feels, if I don't buy anything, I at least feel like I went to a museum. It's a
Yeah.
really great place. But they said a really, really cool thing in there.
Yes.
Which is that I didn't know that Stetson hats, which is the cowboy hat.
The cowboy hat.
That is from Philadelphia.
Philly, baby.
That's incredible.
So again, here's me. I'm like, why are the worst people in the world wearing cowboy hats, trying to tell me they're cool?
Yep.
And then, wait, cowboy hats are from Philadelphia?
Yeah.
I need to know more.
Okay.
So classic cowboy hats, right? They're like this idea of like rugged American individualism.
Yeah.
But when I found the history of them, they really are kind of about socialism, immigrants, and women's rights.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It got really weird, and I'm so excited.
Is this one of those weird ones where like John Wayne and Ronald Reagan came in and flipped everything on its head and war is actually peace?
No, but I will talk about Ronald Reagan later.
He always shows
so
up.
John B. Stetson.
John B. Stetson.
John B. Stetson,
Okay.
the guy himself, was born May 5th, 1830, Taurus,
All right. We love a Taurus.
in New Jersey.
Oh.
No, it's okay. It's okay, Jersey.
Okay.
He was one of 12 children.
Wow, that's a lot of kids.
His dad, Stephen, was a hatter and taught him the trade.
Okay.
So he's been into hats.
Yeah, it's crazy that back in the day, like they used to. Now it's like, what do you do? Well, actually, like I'm a assistant executive social media
marketing, HR, project manager.
Yeah, and then back in the day, what do you used to do?
Hatter. Make hats.
Make hats.
So he never attended school, but was taught to read and write by his mom. And in the late 1850s, so like in his 20s, he was diagnosed with tuberculosis.
Oh.
And the doctor, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna make a joke. You know, now everybody gets diagnosed with other things. And back then, they just walk around and be like, TB.
Tuberculosis.
You got the TB.
So his doctor's like, you have tuberculosis.
Okay.
And you only have a short time to live.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's like, this is bad tuberculosis.
Yeah.
And everything is tuberculosis.
And everything is tuberculosis. And John Green wasn't around to try to stop it.
So I love this part. John Stetson says, I only got a little bit of time to live. What am I going to do?
What's he going to do?
I'm going to go west and explore the west and maybe try to find some gold.
I love this.
Yeah.
Can I tell you? I mean, right now, let me tell you something. If I only had a little bit to live, going west would not be on my bucket list.
No, you don't want to see Gav Newsom?
I got very specific things that I would do if they told me I had a very little time
and we
to
can't
do.
repeat them on this podcast.
No,
Can't say them.
Can't say them. Well, let me tell you though, I have gone west though.
Yes.
When I was a young man, and I think about his age, right?
Yeah, 20s.
Yeah, he was in his 20s, late 20s. I went west.
Yeah.
And I went and I saw Colorado. I saw those everything. I fell in love with the West. I went out there, New Mexico. West Texas. I got to those areas. There's something when you're out there and the land is just so different, you know? And so I could only imagine being in the 1850s in South Jersey, Philadelphia, right? And then traveling out to and just being on a train in Nebraska, being like, what the fuck? It's just empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he heads out west.
Yeah.
And while he's out west, he is inspired by the people he sees working out there. And the thing is, he creates this rugged hat for himself. He's out there, he's doing all this stuff, and he knows how to make hats. So he's grabbing stuff, and he actually gets a bunch of beaver felt, thick beaver felt, while panning for gold in Colorado.
Got it.
Now, this is according to legend. So this might be marketing.
This is apocryphal.
Yeah, this is according to legend.
Okay.
Stetson invented a hat while on a hunting trip, while showing his companions how he could make cloth out of fur without tanning. The fur felt hats were lighter and they maintain their shape and they withstand weather better.
Because it's beaver.
It's beaver.
Yeah, beaver. This is a lot of people don't understand what a game changer beaver was.
Yeah.
And not just in
beaver
fashion.
Will change the world.
Guys, I want you to know something about Ben Franklin, friend of the pod. Ben Franklin, when he traveled he took a lot of beaver with him to France.
Loved beaver, that guy.
And he brought beaver with him. And he got beaver when he was over there.
Yeah.
Hey-oh. But beaver is now when we have waterproof clothing, right? Like a raincoat, okay? That has a chemical sprayed on it to wick the water off it.
Yeah.
They didn't have those chemicals back then. They hadn't done the study into it.
Yeah.
So what they did was they literally looked around and they said, well, what's already waterproof?
Hey, that little critter's not wet. He's in the water.
That's crazy. Look at him. He just popped right out. Oh, why don't we kill thousands of them?
Yeah.
And that's what they did.
Those things are building dams for free. Better get rid of it.
The French and the British fought wars. They fought a world war over beaver.
Yeah.
Okay? Beaver is it was actually one of the most important early resources.
Yeah.
That's why Canada exists.
So Stetson makes this unusually large hat from the felt.
Looking like Norm Macdonald, looking like Burt Reynolds.
Now, he was wearing it as a joke, too.
He makes
this
good.
Big hat.
Yes.
And he's like, look at my big hat. And everybody's like, this guy's crazy.
He's walking around like, look at me.
But then,
call me Mr. Big Hat.
Yeah.
Look at me. I got my big hat.
But the thing is he really started to like the hat.
Oh,
he was like, no, but this hat's really cool.
That's how we ended up in this place in time.
Yeah.
It was a lot of people said, I'm doing a bit. And now their bit is their whole personality.
Yeah, Shane Gillis was like, yeah, he's funny, though.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's real funny, guys. And that's how you end up fat and in a mask in Minnesota.
Yeah.
That's why I'm wearing plaid, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to show people your shirt?
Oh, yeah, my shirt's cool.
Yeah,
Somebody sent it to our P.O. box for us.
Yeah.
No joke on snake.
Yeah, no joke on snake.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
So he makes this hat that he's wearing as a joke, but the thing is he falls in love with it because it has a really wide brim. It's got a high crown area, right? The top of it's really big.
Okay, so the top
and it's creating an insulated pocket of air on the head. Because you know that all your warmth you lose for your head.
Yeah.
So like it's creating a little pocket of hot air.
Oh, so you know what? Hey, real fast to demonstrate, we'll put an image up or a video up. We'll find it somewhere out there. There is a woman. Remember this one?
No.
It was like a TikTok. There was like a woman who was, I think she's like menopausal.
Okay.
And she's at a football game.
She's got
and
the steam
she's
coming off her
bald.
head.
And you can see the steam leave her head.
Absolutely.
Which is why like you want that pocket. So you catch it and it
Yeah.
like fills up. So basically,
Exactly.
so he's walking around with a wide brim and a reservoir tip.
Okay.
Am I right?
Yeah.
I think I'm right.
Also, sometimes when he needed to, he would take the hat off and fill it up with water to carry water around. Because again, it's a water
Because of the
safe
beaver.
thing. Yeah, it's beaver.
It's beaver.
Okay.
You got that wet beaver.
So as his traveling continues, now this is lore. I don't know if this actually happened.
Yeah.
But it is said that a cowboy, having seen J.B. Stetson riding along in his unusual hat, went up to him and asked to try on the hat himself, and then paid Stetson a $5 gold piece and rode away with the hat on his head.
Can I tell you something right
Yeah.
now? I'm going to believe that.
Yeah.
Because first thing, I've read a lot of like older things from like back in the day. And there's a lot about unusual hats.
Yeah.
There's something back in the day, we used to wear a ton of hats.
People loved hats.
It was a big thing. You needed to cover your head because of God.
Mm-hmm.
You also needed to cover your head because of sun exposure.
Is God super mad right now because we're not all wearing hats?
That might be what it is.
Put a hat on right now.
But not a red one. But anyway, the whole thing was everyone wore hats because also we didn't have cars. You were out in the sun more often.
Mm-hmm.
The hat was also a utilitarian device, like you were saying about water and other different things. And so like having something that was different, that's also a form of peacocking.
Yeah.
And so if you had a cowboy who's out there and he looks over and goes, oh shit, that's something different.
Look at that. That's nice.
That's different.
That's nice.
Hey, bud, that's a really cool hat. Can I try it on? Oh, man, I'd really love to have a hat like that. Well, you know, I can always make another one. I can sell it to you right here. And it's one of a kind.
He said
One
no.
of a kind.
He said no.
Now, maybe a
Where's my
$5
money?
gold piece, because I don't know how much a $5 gold piece in those days would be worth. That might be a pretty penny.
Pretty penny.
Because I mean, like 50. Let's go ahead with like $50.
Yeah.
Let's just say it would be like 50, maybe even $75.
Listen,
That's a crazy amount for a hat.
If you are currently on an adventure because you know you're not going to live long.
No, I'm not
and
saying for
somebody gives-
Stetson. No, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying
and somebody hands you some cash and you're like, you know what? Let's go.
Oh, you know what? No, okay.
Let's go.
Thank you for reframing it
Yeah.
because I keep forgetting that he's supposed to be dying.
He's dying.
I keep forgetting. Oh, that was the other thing too with TB. The reason why a lot of people actually went west is because of tuberculosis, because of
Yes.
cleaner air.
Yeah, we talked about this before.
We've talked about it before, but I still feel it's important to come
Yeah.
back and touch on. A lot of cities, so you had places like in London, in England, and in the United States, especially on the East Coast. It was the soot and the smog and the coal and all that different stuff was so thick that people would die faster. And so they wanted you to go west. They wanted you to go to areas where there wasn't industry so that way you get the clean air, and they thought the clean air might heal you.
Yes.
In reality, it wasn't so much healing you as in like it wasn't the equivalent of smoking 4 packs of cigarettes a day while having tuberculosis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
$5 from 1850 is worth approximately $207.77.
Woo!
I'm saying.
And but here's the thing. Going back to the reframing it, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like John Stetson. It's John Stetson,
John
right?
Stetson, yeah.
John B. Stetson. He's dying. He's got a big hat on that he made. He's actually, honestly, it was just a stupid bit, but I like it now.
Yeah.
And then some guy likes it. I like that hat. How much for that? $200. Well, shit. I really like this hat.
Okay, so ready? Is it Larry the Cable Guy?
Yeah.
Does his bit, the Get Her Done? That's him, right?
Get her done.
He's like, I'm gonna do this bit as long as I can.
Get her done.
I'm gonna make this joke.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then he decides, you know what? I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna try to pivot to other comedy. And then ring, Disney calls.
Yeah,
and
Disney,
says,
Pixar.
We're gonna give you $207.77 to just say Get Her Done for the rest of your life as a tow truck. And he says, bet.
No, he says, you know what he says? He says, get her done.
Get her
like,
done.
that's really how, no, this is completely right. Imagine if Larry the Cable Guy had tuberculosis.
No.
What?
No, don't do that.
No, our son would be so upset.
I'd be so mad.
So mad.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
He made a modified sombrero. The West was full of low-paid agricultural jobs held by Mexican immigrants and African Americans.
Yes.
And he was seeing them in the hats, and he just replicated through his perspective and how he made hats, sombrero.
Yeah, because
Okay.
so if you look at the image of the hat you're describing,
Yes, we'll have it.
which we have right up here, and then you put a sombrero next to it,
Yeah.
like the traditional sombrero, it's the same hat.
Yeah.
The traditional sombrero, though, is traditional. Like most of us view it as being made of straw, which is waterproof in a different way versus being made in beaver felt.
Yeah.
This is very much just cultural appropriation and gentrification.
Yeah.
It's
He's
incredible.
gentrifying hats.
He gentrified hats.
So since he's gentrifying, he says, let's go to Philadelphia.
What?
So on his return east, he decides, he's like, I'm done out here in the West.
Yeah.
I've made a great hat. I sold it for $200.
Yeah, I coughed that thing out.
Yeah, I got it out, cleared
Yeah.
my lungs.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I'm going to go to Philadelphia, where he founded the John B. Stetson Company and created this hat. He started remaking the hat.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
One thing I miss from the 1800s.
Yeah.
People used to just straight up name a company after itself.
Yeah.
Right? Like they would just be like, "What is it?" Well, it's I'm John B. Stetson. This
We
is my
named
hat
our
company.
podcast after you.
Originally it was Pearlmania 500. Now it's called
Too many tabs.
and then somebody pointed out SEO, search engine optimization. That is actually difficult because then people try to look up your podcast and they actually end up finding you, and then your podcast actually doesn't reach as many. I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was fine. But back in the day, like real fast. You would go like this is the reason why I wish our billionaires actually were Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Right? Because in Lex Luthor, everything is Luthor Corp.
Yep.
And now instead, if you have a fascist billionaire, he's like, actually it's called Starlink. Actually it's called Tesla. Actually it's called X.
Well, that
actually,
Oracle guy names them pretty on the nose.
No, you're thinking Peter Thiel.
Yeah, he names them on the nose.
No, because he's actually stealing things from Lord of the Rings.
That's what I mean, but he's always stealing the bad guy stuff from Lord of
No,
the Rings.
he's also stealing. Also, all the billionaires are stealing the good guy stuff too.
Oh.
Like Palantir is a bad guy thing, but
Yeah.
sometimes they named another company Anduril or whatever.
Okay.
There's just certain things that they pick, and you're like, God damn it. But if they called it, listen, if it was called the Peter Thiel Company,
Yeah.
you'd be like, oh, evil.
Yeah.
Oh, evil.
Yeah.
The guy whose boyfriend mysteriously died, evil. The guy who funded Hulk Hogan, evil. The guy who, that guy?
Yeah.
Evil. But instead, if you call it Palantir, or then you can always switch the name, right?
Yeah.
Or Blackwater becomes Z or whatever it is, like all these different things. But if you just call it, if it was called if every time you tried to log into Twitter, you actually had to go to ElonMuskText.com, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't go there.
If we stopped calling it Twitter or X and just started calling it like Muskbook.
Muskbook? That sounds like something awful.
It sounds like something that is what you would make a beaver
hat out of, yeah.
beaver pelt.
Okay, so he makes this hat and he names it. He calls it the Boss of the Plains.
The boss of the
Which
plains?
is so Jersey. It's so the boss from Jersey, the boss of the plains.
The boss of the plains.
That's what he names it.
'Cause cowboys like us, baby, we were born to run. Can I also tell you, I'm wearing plaid for Bruce Springsteen. Minneapolis, Bruce Springsteen, whatever. I outlived politics. Get over it.
Yeah. So the Western hat would become the cornerstone of the Stetson hat business.
Yeah.
And is still in production today.
I actually have one.
You have one? You don't have a boss of the
I don't think I have the one you have. This is one I got at the Willie Nelson Museum.
Wow. Look
at
that.
I bought it at the Willie
That's
Nelson Museum
merch.
in 2000.
It is comically small.
It is okay. Either the hat shrunk or my head got bigger.
Well, your hair is bigger. You have
My hair
thick,
is bigger.
luxurious hair.
I also have a much larger ego.
So let me get back to this hat.
Okay, get back to
And
the
not
hat.
the one you're wearing.
Not okay. I'll take this one off because that's distracting.
Yeah, it is very distracting.
Okay.
So the hat's durable, lightweight. It included a sweatband. This is new technology.
Oh.
A sweatband, a lining to protect the hat, and it also was what's the word? It's like it's waterproof. It's insulated. It's got this wide rim. These things we've already discussed. So this is the elite hat right now. Okay. And for years, Stetson worried about the waterproofing, and he decided that he was really going to invest in beaver, like you're saying.
Yeah.
And it took 42 beaver bellies to produce one hat.
That's a lot of beaver.
That's a lot of beaver bellies, because we're not using the whole beaver. Beaver bellies.
Just the belly.
beaver bellies. So that wasn't really sustainable.
Okay, hold on. Let's just take a second here.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I don't think people understand what happened with the industrialization of how we did hunting, fur trapping, and all these different things. Like, there's so many images of, I think it was buffalo or bison, the stacks of skulls.
Yeah.
Like, people used to do shootings off the sides of trains. And we think about that because a big reason they were taken out was so that way Native Americans didn't have the option to be able to get them for food. So then they would have to trust and they would have to trade with white settlers at trading posts.
Yeah.
And it was a whole thing.
Or
It
they
was,
would just starve them to death.
or to starve them to death, all these different things. It was to force them into the system instead of being able to live off the land. But it's the same exact thing with the beaver house. We're talking about for a hat. Hold on. I want to hold this hat up. This is a hat.
Yeah.
42 beaver, because you have to do a strip, and put it together into felt.
Yeah.
Also, that way, some guy's head wouldn't get wet.
Yeah, pretty much.
You had to kill 42.
Yeah.
That's
42 beaver
crazy.
bellies.
That's
But
crazy.
Obviously, that's not sustainable, but in the beginning, that's like what he was creating these hats out of.
Yeah.
So,
Well, now $200, 42 beavers, $200.
yeah.
It still seems cheap, actually.
So, the cowboy hat also had like this marketing idea behind it. In the lore, again, he's building the lore around this hat.
Okay.
Which is that you could also use it as a canteen because it's waterproof. And so there are early images from Stetson marketing where a cowboy is giving his horse water out of the hat, right?
So he's holding it like this.
Yeah, and he's feeding. Because again, it's this
Blah, blah,
idea
blah.
of you could drink water out of your hat. You could. So again, we're really feeding into this narrative that the hat is part of your gear.
Yes. But actually also it's really good marketing because if it can hold water, then it can keep it out.
Exactly.
It's like putting a bowl on your head.
A bowl cut.
Yeah.
I had one. So Stetson's marketing plan, other than like creating this imagery, right?
Yeah.
He sent a sample hat to merchants throughout the Southwest with a letter asking for a minimum order of 12 Boss of the Plains hats. So he sent them one for free.
Yeah.
And he was like, if you want some more of these, you got to buy at least a dozen.
Yeah, the minimum
Okay?
order is 12.
Yeah.
That's smart. That is a smart move.
That's
yeah,
good
yeah.
business.
Yeah.
So the hat is an immediate success. In less than a year, Stetson set up a new factory on the outskirts of Philadelphia to handle the growing business. Because I guess originally he was like more in downtown central. And then he goes to an area in Philly called Germantown.
Okay.
So he goes to Germantown and he buys a bigger area.
You guys won't believe who lived in Germantown. You'll never believe who lived there.
Wait till you hear about Fishtown.
Yeah.
So...
Hey.
So he sets up the new factory, and within a decade, the name Stetson had become synonymous with the word hat.
Yeah.
So it became that like Kleenex Q-tip situation,
Xerox.
Band-Aid, where it's like if you're saying hat, you're saying Stetson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go.
If you Google something, most people don't say, "Oh, search it on the internet."
Yeah,
They say,
Bing
"Go
it.
Google."
You don't say Bing it.
Nobody
We're
bings
asking
it.
Jeeves.
Nobody bings it. I don't think they got rid of the Jeeves part. I think that just turned into ask.
Ask.
No one ever Yahoo'd anything.
No.
All those different things. All the search, but now it's ChatGPT.
Oh God.
But it's saying even in the AI world, nobody Claudes anything. They always go. I threw it into ChatGPT, even if they're meaning Gemini or they're even meaning Llama.
What the heck is Llama?
It's the Meta one.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know. They're all evil.
So it becomes the most popular hat in the world, basically. And by 1886, Stetson Hat Company is the largest hat company globally.
I love that he Columbused sombreros.
Yeah.
Like the second you said, I was like, oh my God, this feels very Domino's.
Yes.
Where it's like a guy came in and just takes a cultural item and goes, they didn't fucking production line this shit.
Yeah, well.
And then starts production lining it and then goes, well, why didn't you just do that? So basically what I'm here to tell you guys, if you take anything from this podcast, if you see somebody doing something, steal the idea, tweak it, and then figure out how to drop ship it. That's it.
That's called capitalism.
And then join our Patreon,
Okay.
pearlmania500.net.
So-
because you owe us now.
Yeah, we gave you a
We
business
gave you a
plan.
good business plan.
that we stole from John B. Stetson because he stole from Mexican Americans.
Yes, 100%.
So
Actually, at that point, I think they actually might have been Mexicans.
Yeah, because it was part of-
there's part of the war and wherever the lines were and everything. So you don't even know.
So the John B. Stetson Company is the
Yep.
largest hat company in the world. The plant in Philadelphia covered over 5 acres of land.
5 acres.
It's huge.
That's massive. And it's in a city.
Yes.
It's 5 acres in a city.
In a city.
That's, yeah, okay. Got it.
So Stetson Hats won numerous awards. And as his company grew, he faced, quote, challenges on developing a reliable labor force.
Okay, I can think of a couple challenges off the hat. First thing, we're talking about hatters. Second thing, we're talking about a time, this is all pre-prohibition. So
Yeah.
everybody,
Woo!
and it's Philly.
Yeah, and it's Philly.
God forbid, what if somebody won a baseball championship?
Well-
They won't show up for a week.
So he said, quote, people working in the hat trade at the time tended to drift from employer to employer.
I wonder why.
Absenteeism was rampant.
I wonder why.
Now, Stetson, who was, quote, guided by Baptist religious principles,
Uh-oh.
believed that providing for his employees, he would lend stability to their lives and attract a higher caliber employee.
That's not how that works.
Okay?
No, hold on. What you're describing there, that sounds a little socialist to me.
No.
That sounds a little too much, okay?
No.
First thing, the best way to get the best employees is to make all of them independent contractors,
Yeah.
okay? Then the best thing to do is to make sure that you suppress all their wages. Then the best thing to do is to make sure that you take away their health care.
Yeah.
Then the best thing to do is to pour poison into all of their rivers.
Yeah.
Then the best thing to do is to send masked men into their streets and to terrorize their communities.
Yeah.
That's how you do it here in 2026. How did he do it back then in the 1860s, 70s?
So Stetson was what we would describe, in relation to the time, a generous employer.
Oh.
His wages were above scale,
Above scale, that means higher than
higher
minimum.
than the minimum.
Okay.
He provided yearly bonuses, which was an early form of profit sharing.
Bonuses?
He provided an on-site hospital at his factory and had prepaid health plan with all the healthcare needs for employees met. It cost them $1 every 3 months from their paycheck. Now, if you didn't have the $1, it would be free if necessary.
What the fuck is he talking about? Okay?
He provided below market rate mortgages to employees through his John B. Stetson Building and Loan Association.
So let me get this straight, sir. You're helping them with housing and healthcare. You're helping them with all these other fun things. Where is the probability market? Why aren't you getting them addicted to FanDuel?
Okay.
This is how you work your employees.
So he did provide entertainment, not FanDuel, but he provided weekly orchestra concerts. Educational events were held nightly at his 5,500 person capacity auditorium, the largest auditorium in Philadelphia when it was built in 1906. There were sports fields on his campus, a gymnasium, a library, a chapel, a Sunday school, a kindergarten, and an inexpensive cafeteria.
I don't think you guys understand how much this is Google. Stetson hats were Google. Because what you're describing is every tech company in the late 90s, early 2000s,
Yeah.
during the big tech boom.
Yeah.
Whenever you would see like 60 Minutes would go and they'd be like, we're here at Google, we're here at Yahoo, we're here at Facebook. They're like,
Yeah.
here's our ping pong, here's our game room.
Yeah.
Here's our ping pong room. We have
Open
snacks.
layout.
We have snacks every day. Like that was one of the things from like,
Yeah.
especially right before 2020.
Yeah.
When they would show it like in office stuff, like every day we have our free breakfast, we have these things. Because again, the big thing with the hatters that we've been leaving out is hatting was skilled labor.
Yes.
Being a hatter is the same as being a coder before AI.
Yes.
Like it was a very specific trade. So these are specialty employees. You can't just get anybody off the street. So you need to treat them a little bit better. And so because of that, he is sprinkling in all of these benefits.
Bennies.
All of these bonuses. But the healthcare is the big one. But the other side of it is all this extra stuff is how you get the younger idiots.
Yeah.
Right? Oh no, we got free concerts. Literally, Google used to do free concerts.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Yes, I do, because I have a friend, you know this person. They were a professional chef here in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They ran an incredible restaurant.
Yeah.
And then they gave it all up because they got hired at Google to go be a chef for Google.
Yeah.
To provide hot meals to the staff that were like really good.
No, they used to do like weekly concerts at Google and at Apple as well, and all these
Yeah.
other different places. Apple figured out like, oh, we can also repost these.
Yeah.
Like we can put these on Apple Music. But like, I remember like watching like Google like Google concerts where it's like a guy in like a little auditorium that was also used for like corporate presentations.
Yeah.
Doing stand up.
I wasn't
like,
done, by the way.
What?
I wasn't done.
There's more benefits?
He provided classes for immigrants, generous apprenticeship programs. An apprenticeship, by the way, is a paid internship. You pay for the internship. He also had a mummers company.
Okay. You need to explain as fast as possible, okay?
Yeah.
As fast as possible
Okay.
what a mummer is. Because I guarantee you,
Okay.
maybe some of our European listeners, they have an idea of what a mummer is, but they don't know about Froggy Car.
Listen. Okay. I'm going to do how quickly. A mummer. Every New Year's Day in Philadelphia, we have a Mummers Day parade, which is a parade of drunk men dressed in sparkly dresses.
Yes.
The original Mummers parade was a protest, a union protest of men that would put on their wives' dresses to be like, you're not going to pay us, we should just be like our wives. So the misogyny's there. But now it's just a drunken, weird Philadelphia-centric thing. Now there is also a sidebar of it, which is like the string band, which is they get really dressed up in big feather costumes and they play banjos and they dance and it's a whole thing. It's really just a very specific niche element of Philadelphia culture.
Yeah.
And so the fact that the Stetsons had the Stetson Mummer Company, incredible.
It makes sense. It does make sense for the time and also just for Philadelphia in general, which is going to be our side thing. Because again, bread and circuses.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Yeah. So he believed in a happy, healthy worker was a better worker. And he also wanted to keep the unions out of his shop.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Which is why unionization is good. Because he was actually, what he's doing is basically union negotiations at the same time. He's sprinkling. It's the same thing when you look at how many, again, let's look at coders. Let's look at code, like people who write code and engineers and all that different stuff before AI showed up. How many of they were like, oh, we can bend all these companies over backwards. Look at us. They're putting a ping pong table in every single break room, baby.
Yeah.
And now, if you look at Stack Overflow and all these other different things, because of AI, these companies don't feel like they have to pay you shit.
Yeah.
And so these people are all suddenly out of work. And it was the same thing back then with the Hatters. Again, it was such a specific trade.
So here's the thing. He did manage to keep the unions out of his shop.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did. Because, again, he's providing so much at this point that people weren't unhappy.
Yeah, so if you're a union organizer and you show up and you go, the evil rich bourgeoisie, like John B. Stetson, like the guy who funds our mummers company?
Yeah,
that guy gave me healthcare for $1. It's $4 a year.
Yeah.
I want to point that out. It's $4 a year, y'all.
Yeah.
Just so you know, for us, to cover us, it is $990 a month now.
Yeah.
That's to cover us and a baby.
So
through the marketplace. So that's great.
Let's take a quick break on that note.
Okay.
And when we come back, I want to talk about Ronald Reagan and mercury poisoning.
What? Woohoo, boys and girls, it's a cowboy roundup here, and we're still learning about these ding-dong-dare hats.
I don't know how to respond to that.
You know how to respond with information, because we're in the middle of an information war, everybody.
Let me talk to you specifically about neurological damage.
Okay.
That might be what's happening here from the stress of the world.
It's called brain rot, and I feel great.
So, like you were saying, being a hatter is a specialty, skill set, right?
Yeah, skilled worker.
The thing is, there was also a big hazard of this trade, which was mercury fumes.
Mercury fumes?
Which is why they used to say things like mad as a hatter.
Oh, yeah, because the Mad Hatter from... I gotta drop the voice.
Yeah,
the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, well, historically, it was common among felt hat makers in England who had long-term exposure to the vapors from mercury to start to get sick, and these people were then described as being mad as a hatter, and the character in Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland is an example of someone that's mad as a hatter. The disease itself is actually called erethism. Erethism? I don't know how to say it. It's Thism.
I'm going to go with erethism.
Erethism. Okay. So erethism is characterized by behavioral changes such as irritability, low self-confidence, depression, apathy, shyness, and being timid. However, if you get even more exposure past that and it's more prolonged, you actually get delirium and memory loss.
So you get dementia.
Yeah.
You basically get like a extreme form of dementia. Okay.
From making hats.
From making hats.
Now here's the thing.
Because the mercury. So one thing you need to know, actually, we have a long history of mercury in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Not in this country, actually across the world. The first emperor of China, he thought, and he was told by doctors that mercury pills would make him live forever. Because once he conquered everything, he was like, I'm the emperor of the world, because that's the only area he knew. And he was like, I control everything. The only thing I don't control is death.
Oh.
So he went to these doctors and they gave him mercury pills, and it drove him irrevocably insane.
Yeah.
To the point where at one point, I can't remember correctly if it was the ocean or a river. He fought it.
What do you mean?
He pulled out a sword and he was like, I will conquer you, river spirits, and like attacked a river.
Oh.
And it's been made fun of a lot. But also when they found his tomb,
there
were all these rumors for a very long time that there was rivers of mercury inside of his tomb, which is the reason why. So the soldiers, the terracotta warriors?
Yes.
Okay. So when they found the terracotta warriors, they knew that those were protecting the tomb of the first emperor of China.
Yes.
All right. At the same time, when they found that, they then started testing the land around it. And there's all this mercury because they had rivers of mercury floating around, because mercury is such a weird thing.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I was younger, there was these people that actually found mercury. Like, they found, like, some place, and they were playing with it because it, like, rolls across your skin in this very weird way. It has Mercury has these very insane properties to it.
It's alien.
It's very alien.
It makes you feel like it's an alien.
It does. It feels like, if you ever see, like, T-1000 or one of those, like the Abyss or any of those things, it kind of rolls around. But touching, it absorbs through your skin, and it makes you, like, it can cause all these liver issues. It can cause all these different issues, and the fumes melt your brain to the point where you think, you have memory loss, so you forget that everything we're going through right now, we went through in June of 2020. You start being irritable. You start becoming very paranoid about a bunch of different stuff. You start seeing things where things aren't.
You want to take that hat off?
Oh.
I'm starting to put some things together myself. Thanks so much. So, you know what that reminds me of when you were just describing his tomb?
Yeah.
Is Mother God and the colloidal silver.
Yes.
Remember when we did we did an episode about Mother God?
That
Check
was
it out.
very
It's
long
in the
time ago.
backlog.
It was very long.
We've been making this podcast for 4 years.
It's been a long time. Oh my God. When we started this, not only were we so young.
We were so young.
We were in our late 30s.
Oh,
we didn't have a child. Oh my God.
So the hat.
Fascism wasn't on the march.
Let's get back to the hat. This is an episode about hats.
Oh, okay. Hats.
Okay. The straight-sided, round-cornered, flat-brimmed, original Boss of the Plains design dominated for 20 years.
20 years?
Yeah.
Fake sombreros for 20 years.
Now, most of the 19th century photographs show the hat without an intentional crease. However, through use, abuse, and customization by individual wearers, hats were modified from their original appearance. In particular, the crown would become dented, at first inadvertently, and then by a deliberate choice by individual owners. The brim was often rolled up or curved in ornamental styles, and sometimes the different creases and brim shapes were made on purpose to reflect a particular hat owner's life or work. And in some cases, certain cowboys on different individual ranches would be identified by the creases in their hat.
This makes total sense.
Yeah.
So when you were describing when I was holding up the hat and I was showing like the different curves and the dent in the existing straw hat I have here, my straw Stetson, but at the same exact time, it makes complete and total sense. So one thing I think about a lot of the time is tri-corner hats.
Yes.
Okay, so tri-corner hats, the reason why they're tri-corner is because originally, again, they were flat. They were like sombreros. And then things started getting pinned up because they're like, oh, this is kind of in the way. The bends, if you think about baseball hats, right? There was such a dichotomy between dudes who get a baseball hat and immediately bend and crush the rim of it.
Yeah.
Versus the dudes who need to keep them flat.
Yeah.
They need to keep them flat like they just got them
With
from
the
lids.
sticker still on it.
With the sticker still on it, just like they got it from lids. We've been doing this. We keep pretending like we've changed.
No.
We just do it with slightly different things over time.
Boys love peacocking with their hats.
We love a hat, fellas.
Boys love peacocking with hats.
But the thing is so when you're describing this, though, if you look at like the Yosemite Sam hat, right? That's a flat boss of the plains hat, or the boss of the prairie or plains.
Boss of the
Plains.
plains, yeah.
With it folded up in the front, right?
Yeah.
Then you go and you have some where they just do the one side. The cowboy hat that everybody wears now. They roll up both sides because they didn't need to have shade on their right and left. They need it in the front and on the back to protect their neck.
Yeah.
Over time, like this is where you pinch, where you grab, how you touch, all these different things are coming in slowly over time. They're customizing everything. Yeah. This is the same as like I went to this specific brewery and I like an IPA that's hoppy.
Yeah.
Well, I like a Pilsner. That's all we're talking about. At the end of the day, it's all beer. It's all beer.
The first popular modification was a long crease from in the back. So it was like a little butt crack in the back. And that was called the Carlsbad crease. Because there was people from Carlsbad, New Mexico that would wear it like that.
Okay.
And so the Stetson factory started making that crease in the hats on purpose.
They started pre-creasing them.
Pre-creasing.
Oh, like pre-ripped jeans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's fashion.
Or pre-faded shirts.
Another design derived from the pointed top of a Mexican sombrero that worked its way north. It had 4 dents on top, and the 4 dents were from putting your hands on it, like to grab it.
Oh, yeah.
So it would create 4 dents, and then that was called the Montana Peak.
Got it. Even though it was from Mexico.
Yeah,
they
we're
were
going to call
like,
it the
okay.
Montana Peak.
Well, and part of that is going to be because you have Mexican day laborers.
Yep.
Ranch hands and others who made it all the way to Montana, or guys who went from Montana, learned the trade down there, and then brought, that cultural assimilation across. That's
Absolutely.
crazy.
So, in addition to Western hats, Stetson also historically has produced trucker hats, fragrance, apparel, footwear, eyewear, belts, bourbon, and many other products that evoke the historic American West.
Yeah. Because the same thing as you were talking about at the beginning with the lore and this myth about the creation of the hat. They've been doing that from the very get-go.
Yeah.
Even as the Wild West was happening, they were already mythologizing it.
Yeah.
It was already, as it was happening, they were already figuring out ways of, how do we sell this?
Yes,
how do we, write the books?
This is a guy from Jersey in Philly selling a Western dream.
Yeah.
It's all marketing.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, too, is the Western dream also has always come from Philly.
Yeah.
That's the thing people don't understand. Everyone who rode west rode in a thing called the Conestoga wagon. Mm-hmm. Conestoga wagons are from Conestoga, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Okay? If you go, I went to Portland, Oregon, right? When I went to Portland, they had and they were like, here's the Oregon Museum. And it was full of Conestoga wagons. I went to Texas. They're like, here's the story of Texas, full of Conestoga wagons. I was just walking around. I'm like, all y'all are just stepping in the footsteps of Philadelphia. Okay? But this is just like that story all over the different place, too. And it's also, again, they're bringing it back. They go out west. They see a bunch of things. They do some market research.
Yeah. Then
they go back to civilization where there's infrastructure, and then they start building things.
Exactly.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Also, my boyfriend in high school wore Stetson cologne, and I hated it.
Oh, God.
It's so gross. And if I smell it, because the older men still wear it.
Yeah.
And I think that must have been his dad's cologne that he just found in the bathroom or whatever and was like, I'll wear his cologne.
Yeah.
And I smell it sometimes and I'm like, oh God.
The only cologne I ever wear is stuff that you say smells handsome.
Yeah.
Because I don't care for
scents. You have
scents.
a wonderful collection of handsome smells.
I don't care for scents. I don't like colognes myself, but if I want you to like me, I get whatever the last bottle you gave me that you said, this smells nice. And I go, squirt, and then you're not mad at me anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And fellas, that's
nice.
the secret. That's the secret. Let your girl pick a cologne for you, and then when she's mad at you, put it on. Put it on. Because scent is memory, and she'll remember a time when she liked you.
Yeah.
And that will help you get back to that moment.
Wait a minute.
What?
I've been getting tricked.
You have been. Listen.
I've been getting tricked through Burberry.
Y'all, let me tell you something right now. This is now a manipulator podcast. How do we manipulate
Alpha
the people in our
bro.
lives? No. We're not doing Alpha Bro. We're not doing Alpha Bro.
we're not doing Alpha
No,
Bro?
we're not going to do Alpha
Oh,
Bro.
we were about to make so much money on gambling app ads.
I'm sorry, babe. I know that your dream is Prize Picks and FanDuel ads.
That's not true.
I know that's your dream.
That's not true at all.
Everyone's out here being like, oh my God.
I don't like
We
gambling.
don't even have ads on this episode.
No.
Because we took a break and they're like, we're putting them all on hold.
So now let's talk about Texans. You brought them up.
Texans?
Texans were known for their preference for the quote 10-gallon model, the 10-gallon hat.
Yeah, talking about this, because, okay. So when I look at a hat, right, they're always like 10 gallon, and I know what a gallon of milk looks like,
Yeah.
right? I know it in like the plastic jug or a gallon of water.
Yeah.
I don't see, like, how do you fit 10 gallons of water in there?
Yeah, so
like, what is the 10 gallon about?
The 10-gallon is not actually a reference to the hat's liquid capacity. It actually derives from the Spanish word galon. I don't know how to say it, guys. I'm sorry. But it means braid. It's a Spanish word for braid.
So you mean this thing that I have hanging
Yes.
on this, like right here?
10 indicating the number of braids used as a hat band. It's 10 gallon. It's the braids.
Shut the fuck up. This whole entire time, we were talking about their little braided hats.
Yeah.
And not how much water they could carry in it so their thirsty horse could drink while they're on the trail.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they let us think it was about the thirsty horse.
Yes, absolutely.
This is fucking insane. It's America is either a collection of MLMs stacked on top of each other or a series of cultural appropriations that have been remarketed by white dudes.
I need to tell you it's both, and that's why Utah is the center of America.
Oh.
So,
I'm really in a debate.
yeah.
I'm in a debate. Do I convert to Catholicism if the Pope excommunicates J.D. Vance, or do I
Yes.
convert to Mormonism for safety?
Yes.
That's where I'm at right now.
I think that if we do
I think-
Mormonism, we have to go get veneers. They're not going to let us in with our
Oh,
normal
with our teeth? Oh, I know.
We gotta go get the veneers, or they're not going to let us in.
Yeah, I might need to go. But
Also, I don't think I can give up coffee. The Catholics would never demand I gave up coffee.
yeah, they would demand you give up your rights. Actually, you give up your rights in both of them.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know. Hey, guys, get in the comments and tell us. Should we become Mormons or Catholics?
I was born Catholic.
I'm
already there.
Yeah, I know. But that's one of the reasons why I've seen what that did to you, and I'm concerned of what it would do to our son. I also know we have a lot of ex-Mormons. We have a
do.
lot of ex-Mormon viewers.
Listen, when it comes to deconstructing, this is the podcast, baby.
But also, when it comes to deconstructing, Mormons, when a Mormon is like, oh shit, everything I believe is a lie, they also start looking around and they go, oh fuck, it's everything, isn't it?
It's everything.
Oh no.
And then they're like, we're going to make some coffee and think about this.
Scientologists would never.
So,
It's funny how nobody ever wants to convert to Scientology.
no, you got to get trapped in that one.
Yeah,
You
that's
gotta get
that's a trick trap.
You gotta get Bear's Claw trapped
Yeah.
into that guy.
Okay.
So the Stetson Hat Company.
Oh, this is about hats.
This is about hats. So the Stetson hat was a symbol of the highest quality. Western icons such as Buffalo Bill, Calamity Jane, Will Rogers, Annie Oakley, and the Lone Ranger all wore Stetsons.
So you actually described real fast. You described people who were vaudeville acts going into early movies.
Yes.
I just wanted to get that clear to the listeners because they might not clock that.
They were not real cowboys.
No, well, some of them were. Some of them, like specifically Buffalo Bill and Calamity Jane. Those two were, quote, cowboys and were around in the Old West, but they were vaudeville acts.
Yeah.
They would then cartoon it up.
Yeah.
When they went back east. All right. Annie Oakley, all these different people. Like, they could shoot guns. They could do they knew how to rustle. They knew how to do those different things. But at the end of the day, they were basically pro wrestlers.
Yes.
When it came back. And then when you get the characters like the Lone Ranger, and who's the other one that you said?
I don't remember. Hold on.
You had it written there.
Calamity Jane, Will Rogers.
Will Rogers. Will Rogers was a TV cowboy.
Is he related to Roy Rogers of the cheeseburger
No,
magnet?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So the company also started making hats for the Texas Rangers, which became the first law enforcement agency to incorporate the cowboy hat into their uniform.
That's because the Texas Rangers were actually riding horses back then.
Yes.
And they were fascist then too.
So the Stetson Western style hats were worn by employees of the National Park Service, the U.S. cavalry soldiers, and then also U.S. presidents like Lyndon B. Johnson, Ronald Reagan, and George W. Bush.
Yep. So LBJ wore one because he was from Texas. Ronald Reagan wore one because he starred in Westerns and he knew that people were obsessed with Westerns, especially in the 80s, and they felt like they were losing their masculinity. So everybody had a really big midlife crisis and started pretending like they were all big manly he-men and barbarians. And remembering things like the cowboy movies from the 40s, 50s, and 60s made them feel strong in a world that was scaring them. Also, real fast, Ronald Reagan, no dick print in gray sweatpants.
Sorry, what?
It's recently an image. We're going to throw it up on the screen right here. That's an image of Ronald Reagan. No dick print in gray sweatpants. Yeah. Anyway, he was a big manly cowboy, but he was mainly a Hollywood actor. And then George W. Bush proved that you could be from New England, like his daddy.
Yeah.
You could be from Nantucket.
Okay.
And then just move to Texas, put on a fake accent and a hat, and then suddenly everyone was like, that's a real American right there. Because George W. Bush is the third generation.
Nepo baby.
A Nepo baby.
Yeah.
His grandfather tried to overthrow the United States government through the business plot. His father was the CIA director, a vice president, and president of the United States. And then George W. Bush moved to Texas, pretend to be really into cowboy shit. Look at me, I'm a real man. Even though I'm completely sober because I drank so goddamn much, I got a DUI in the 70s. And then I had to go join AA and become a fake Christian. Then let me tell you all what I did. I put on a cowboy hat and told people they wanted to have a beer with me. I want you to have a beer with me. You should have a beer with me. I even pretend to be a airman. I pretend to be a Vietnam soldier, even though I was a draft dodger. That's what I did. It's called a swift boat, everybody.
Do you think that that Ronald Reagan was Nancy Reagan's retirement?
Yes. Also, I just realized the cowboy hat is the ultimate symbol of performative male.
Yes.
This is hard. This is bigger than Matcha Labubu. This is bigger than Big Pants. This is bigger than Tote. If you see somebody wearing a cowboy hat and they don't have a horse, I want you to go, you're a performative male. You're a fake man. You have no dick print and gray sweatpants. He's going to YouTube short the fuck out of that one. Mr. Third's going to YouTube short the fuck out of that one.
Now, Republicans often embrace the cowboy hat as a cultural symbol of values the party wants to align itself with.
Yeah.
Such as rugged individualism, self-reliance, and a nostalgic view of white American history.
Yes.
The hat has become a powerful piece of political pop culture. I wrote pop, but I think it's prop culture that helps project a specific image.
Yeah, well, and that was built by Hollywood, and that was built by advertisers, specifically cigarette advertisers with the Marlboro Man. A very difficult cigarette to say, but I was never into Marlboros myself. I was always more of an American Spirits or Parliament Light or Camels.
Camel
that was another
Crush,
one.
baby.
All of those really got me real good. But the Marlboro Man in particular was always this guy. He was this cowboy. He was always doing rugged cowboy shit. And the other good thing that the Marlboro people realized is they could cover his face with the brim of the hat.
Yeah.
So that way, if the Marlboro Man dies, you can just put another one up there.
Yeah.
It's not like they had to worry about going and creating an AI version of
the
him.
Marlboro company would have loved AI. You
Oh,
don't
they
need
would
a
have
model
loved
anymore. You don't need a model.
They don't need a
Come
just
on.
fucking, oh yeah, make them look young and pretty. Who cares?
Yassify the Marlboro Man.
Anyway, the Marlboro Man, that one, John Wayne, is another one. Randolph Scott.
Who's that?
Randolph Scott was a cowboy actor, very rugged, okay? He did all these different movies, and it was always about coming into a town. A lot of them were like Seven Samurai style movies or these type of things where they come into a town and they're going to fight back against the local baddies, right? And do all these different things. It was always just a lone man who comes into a town and gets together a posse and gets everybody together, and the town backs him and does all these different things. Randolph Scott is actually referenced in Blazing Saddles.
Okay.
There's a move where the black sheriff asks the town to help him with like fighting back against the railroad.
Yeah.
They're like, no, that idea's stupid. He's like, you would let Randolph Scott do it. And the whole people go, Randolph Scott. Randolph Scott was a gay man from Virginia. He was Cary Grant's live-in boyfriend. Cary Grant was also gay. All of Hollywood was gay. And it's always been gay.
Yeah.
The Cowboys were gay. Brokeback Mountain is only shocking because they dropped a little bit of pretense. Do you understand what I'm talking about? If you sit there and you think rugged individualism, I want you to think of the following. Okay, that's an actual quote from Brokeback Mountain. That was the most shocking moment of that movie to me. I was like, damn, in a tent? What a heated rivalry.
Listen,
Yeah.
you know what it just reminded me of?
What I
the
remind you of?
Orville Peck song he did with Willie Nelson.
Yes.
That cowboys are frequently secretly fond of each other.
Can I tell you? Save a horse, ride a cowboy, right, Toby Keith, you dead fuck? Listen, I want to tell you, I was recently down, I was hanging out with the producer from Crashing Out.
Oh, okay.
And I was a big fan of Orville Peck. We put it
Yeah.
on and we're in the car. And they went, I didn't realize this guy was gay. And I immediately at that moment, I paused and I was like, how have you never?
Wait a minute.
He made a cover of Fancy
Yeah.
by Reba McEntire. Okay?
I need you to listen to the lyrics of these songs, guys.
And I want to just go ahead and say something real fast, just to Orville Peck, just in case this does get made into a
We
short.
love you.
We do love you, Orville Peck. Okay, and I said it online. Orville. I'm going to ignore the Street Fighter thing. Okay, I know it's your first movie. We're big fans. You're stuck in that movie with a fuck ton of people, like Andrew Schultz and a few others that I'm like, I don't love them. Okay? So everything I say about the Street Fighter movie, Orville, is not about you.
Never.
Okay?
We would
Get your
never.
bag, King. Get your bag. You're not getting an Oscar, but get Nickelodeon award, maybe?
I don't think Nickelodeon's gonna give him an award.
You don't think a Nickelodeon? Oh, not yeah, that's right, because Nickelodeon's now owned by fascists.
Okay.
So they're not going to be
Let's
propping
get
up a
back
gay
to
cowboy.
hats.
You're right. You know what? Let's get back to breaks right after this. I keep forgetting that this episode's about hats.
This is an episode about hats.
I've taken some crazy asides as we've gotten late into this guy.
So Stetson decided to change their business strategy in the early 1970s.
Okay, because John B. Stetson's dead by the 1970s.
Yeah, oh, for
okay,
sure.
yeah, got it.
And the thing they do is they close the Philadelphia factory in 1971.
1971, they pull out of Philadelphia.
Yeah, they moved to Texas.
Don't love that.
Hold on, I want to show you this video of when the plant closed down.
Okay.
I have it from the news. Let me play
Okay,
it for
this
you
is
real quick.
archival footage of the plant closing.
For more than a century, the company had made hats at its main plant in Philadelphia. Before World War II, hat sales were high. Stetson then employed a huge workforce that produced 60,000 hats a day. After the war, hat sales began dropping as more people abandoned them for a freer casual look. During the 1960s, longer hairstyles reinforced the trend to hatlessness. The company tried to fight back with new styles and fabrics. Although the Western style remained a big seller, the public just wasn't buying enough. 2 years ago, employees had approved a contract with no wage increase. They had hoped it would somehow delay the main plant's closing.
I've been working here for over 35 years. At the beginning, I thought there'd always be a Stetson.
The Stetson name will probably appear on hats made elsewhere. But for the hundreds of men and women employed here, when this factory closes, it will mean the end of a way of life and work.
Seemed like they hired a lot of women.
They did hire a lot of women. It was like if there was 5,000 people working in the plant, there was about approximately 1,000 women working.
Oh, wow.
So a great employer of women.
Yeah. And some of them said that they've been working there for 35 years.
Yeah.
So they were holding up whole communities.
Yes.
And then they completely pulled out and then they moved down to Texas.
Yes.
Got it.
Well, because there's a lot of factors that played into it.
Okay.
People stopped wearing hats.
Yes.
It was like it was a lot of things that played into it.
A big part of it, and the big part of the reason why people stop wearing hats is because of cars.
Yeah.
A lot of people actually keep forgetting that. It's because when you get into a car, most cars have low ceilings, and a cowboy hat or a top hat or any of those things, you brush your hat. So you have to take it off constantly.
Yeah.
And if it's a big hat, unlike a baseball hat or other things, you would have to put it on a seat. And so you start running out of room and you need to have like hat hooks, all this different stuff. I mean, if you saw it, when we opened this up, we had a Stetson hat box.
Yeah.
Is what our friend from 4 Foot Prune was holding up. And so like you needed boxes. Like we have this house that we bought is a very old house. And it weirdly came with hat hangers, like
Yeah.
old school, old lady hat hangers. So this actually sits in a closet door inside of a hat like
Yeah.
hanger that's there. That's not a hook on the back. It's like a bridge to hold the front. It's weird.
Yeah.
There was a whole different lifestyle around hats that vanished between the 1940s and today.
I think we bring back hats. Anyway, the reason I wanted to show you this was specifically about how Stetson was a big employer of women.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people in political power that put on these fucking hats and want to take jobs away from women.
Yes.
They're doing everything they can to make it so hard for women to keep a job. But the Stetson Hat Factory was a huge employer of women. It's like there's so much that's like separated from this mythology of the hat itself.
Yeah. Yeah, the same people who are putting on cowboy hats right now are the same people who are shutting down daycares across this country, which means that women are going to be the first ones to get pulled from their jobs.
Exactly.
The same ones who are putting on cowboy hats right now and pretending that they're Texas Rangers are the same ones who want to cross state lines like slave catchers and drag women back to anti-abortion states.
Yes.
The same people who were doing this. And like, it's so fucking nuts. It's just so fucking nuts that this symbol, which was also a symbol of women that could then actually sustain their families and give their whole community a leg up.
Yes. Let me talk to you about John Stetson's philanthropy.
Okay.
Okay? He helped fund the starting of Temple University.
Really?
Yeah. He was one of the original funders. So a group of people got together, but he's one of the original funders of Temple University.
Okay.
He also helped fund Stetson University, which is in Florida.
Okay.
As well as a Philadelphia YMCA. He almost completely funded the building of a YMCA. Along with a homeless shelter and soup kitchen, which was called the Sunday Breakfast Association. It's now called the Philly House. It still exists. It's right on the edges of Chinatown in Philly.
Okay.
But I did look. I know what the Philly House is, but then I was like, well, let me look it up, right?
Yeah.
Like, tell me about how he funded this. And this is what was very interesting to me. There were three main men who put their money behind starting this homeless shelter soup kitchen for men in Philadelphia, and it was John Wanamaker, of the Wanamaker store,
who eventually, that was
which eventually became a Macy's.
Yes.
Okay. John Stetson.
Okay.
And Washington Atlee Burpee.
What, Burpee? Like the jump up, push up guy?
Okay. Burpee is Burpee Seeds.
That means nothing to me.
Burpee Seeds are like it's like the number one seed company in the world, I think. And I had no idea that they were in Philadelphia or that they were financially backing anything in Philadelphia. It's like Burpee Seeds are, when you go to Lowe's or you go to a store, like the first seed you're going to see most likely is Burpee Seeds.
Okay.
It's a huge, huge thing.
So these three massive magnates came together and they created the Sunday House.
Yes.
And what is the Sunday House?
The Sunday Breakfast Association,
Sunday Breakfast
what it was
House.
originally called, was basically a place where you could go get a hot meal before church. And then it was like a meeting. So like you would sit in a group. The first time they ever did it, 250 men attended the first meeting.
Okay.
And so it was a hot meal. You stayed for church. And then there was probably just like some discussions afterwards about like getting your life together. Eventually it became a homeless shelter along with a rehabilitation center. It's grown to be so much more now.
No, but see, the thing is this is wrong, okay? Because Jesus didn't say to feed the hungry and the poor. Jesus said to put a mask on and to go into a community and ask where anyone who doesn't look like you lives. That's what Christ is king, okay? I just want to point that out. That's where we are at 26. Okay, you're talking about an old mess over here. We've gotten updates on all these different things. You're talking about empathy. That's a sin. Okay, empathy is a sin, folks. Empathy is a sin. Brought to you by DraftKings.
Okay.
What?
Can I tell you something really funny?
Yeah.
So this whole episode started because I was like, why are they always wearing cowboy hats?
Yeah, and
Oh
also,
my God.
why did Donald Trump look like that in a cowboy hat?
Well,
That's fucking
because
crazy.
he is not well.
Yeah.
He was like probably shitting himself, honestly. But so they're all wearing these cowboy hats, and I'm like, why? And then also I'm like, the cowboy hats are from Philadelphia? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And this is how I start this. There was a certain point where I literally just put into Google, like we were talking about.
Yeah, you Googled
I went
something.
into Google and I typed, why do Republicans like cowboy hats?
That's the exact
That's
phrase
the
you
thing. I
Republic?
just was like, why do Republicans like cowboy hats?
Okay.
And you know how when you Google now, because of AI, it gives you an AI summary?
Yeah, immediately. It immediately gives you one, even when you don't fucking ask for it.
I don't want it, but I got it. And
Yeah.
so I read it because I'm like scrolling, I'm like going down. And I I copy pasted it because it made me laugh out loud, this AI summary.
Okay.
So I want to close this episode with the AI summary to the answer to the question, why do Republicans like cowboy hats?
Okay.
Per AI, right? While the aesthetic is used to conjure a politics of self-sufficiency, the historical reality of the cowboy era involved low-paid agricultural jobs held often by Mexican immigrants and African Americans, and many ranching operations were actually dependent on government subsidies, land giveaways, and federal water projects. The modern political use of the symbol often prioritizes the myth over historical details.
Yep. God damn. They got
AI
smoked.
coming for your ass. They got smoked.
They got smoked by Google Gemini. That's incredible. Also, I didn't even think about, there's a huge part in there we didn't even touch on. Well, land giveaways.
We talk about land giveaways in our redrumming episode.
Redrumming episode. I know. We've talked about it before, but saying in this episode,
No,
though.
I'm just trying to listen. My job as a podcaster is to get you to listen to more podcast episodes.
I understand.
What are you talking about?
Okay,
right
no,
now?
you're right. Okay, calm down.
Federal water projects. We talk about that in the lake episode.
Yeah, and redlining.
Yep.
Redlining in general. But also keep in mind that we had completely open borders until 1924. So if someone was like, my family came here legally, your family came here early. That's it. That's all legal meant. Until 1924, you could just walk in if you were white. But anyway, that's our show, Mrs.
That was
B.
about hats.
This was about hats. But also, just so you know, that Google question you asked at the end, I think you just nailed what the episode is going to be titled.
Yeah.
Why do Republicans like cowboy hats? Guys, thank you so much. Give us 5 stars wherever you are listening to us, watching us. Like, comment, subscribe, all the fun things. Pearlmania500.net for ad-free listening.